Hello everyone and welcome to my channel The Ultimate Book Maniacs, the one stop for book and TV series reviews. As Lulu said, one video I would love to see you do is what woke the White Walkers from their thousands years of slumber beneath the ice, or why have they returned? Especially if we know the children created them and then they were defeated, why did they return now? How have they survived for thousands of years, and who made the new Night's King? He can't be one of Craster's sons, as Craster isn't old enough to have supplied sons for that long. Did one White Walker survive and steal the babies to create more, and they kept the tradition for thousands of years? If so, why invade now? As I've said earlier, I have a very simple theory on this. I'll also give a shout out to a couple of brilliant theories in the end. Anyways, in order to answer this question, we need to go back 8,000 years ago to the Long Night. When the Long Night came, the White Walkers came from the north for the first time. It is believed that they came from the lands of always winter. I know the show showed that the children were the ones who created them in the first place, but that's not possible in the books. In the books, the children had made a pact with the first man, and they started living peacefully in the age of heroes. The Long Night came after the pact. The others were defeated in the battle for the dawn. The first man, children, the last hero, Azor Ahai, they all were from this era, so it's safe to assume they all fought in the battle for the dawn. We have to remember that the first members of the Night's Watch drove the others back. They weren't killed. To make sure that the others don't invade Westeros again, Bran the Builder built the wall with the help of giants, the first men and the children. Bran the Builder also founded House Stark, built Winterfell, and became the first king in the north. Which is what leads me to think that he also hid something in the crypts of Winterfell as a failsafe, just in case the wall ever came down. I have a theory about what it is, which I'll post soon. Anyways, we know the others were still north of the wall because of the Night's King. He fell in love with a White Walker woman and brought her south of the wall. According to Old Nan, he ruled the Night Fort for 13 years with his corpse queen until the king beyond the wall, Joramun, and the king in the north united to defeat him. When they found out that he was sacrificing to the others, they erased his name from all documents, and his name was forgotten. Anyways, this proves that the White Walkers were still roaming around shortly after the Long Night. So, what made them go into hiding? My answer is summer. Even the Ice Dragon, who is supposed to be much bigger than the Fire Dragons, started melting in summer. He had to hide in the lands of always winter during summers, which is perpetually frozen and locked in a state of winter. It is said in the prophecies that after the longest summer, the long night will come again. This summer was the longest of all, lasting 9 years. So, my belief is that summer drove them further back into the lands of always winter. I don't think they were asleep at all. I believe they were always there, biding their time, waiting for the long night to come again. Have you ever wondered why in all the maps there's nothing shown in the lands of always winter? Why? Because no one goes there? That's impossible. Human curiosity won't allow that. It's because whoever went there never came back to tell the tale. Bran also saw the army of the dead there. They could have been those fools who have wandered over to the lands of always winter. That's why I don't believe that all the White Walkers are Craster's sons. Only a few of them are. In the beginning of this series, we see that the Citadel declares the long summer has ended. Will, who had been a veteran of 100 rangings, thinks that this night was different, which means the ones before this weren't. Look at this map. Will, Garrett, etc. were in the haunted forest, and Craster's Keep is much closer to it. So, my guess is, as soon as the long summer ended, the White Walkers went to Craster's Keep. According to Gilly, lately they have been coming more often. I think they must have left the lands of always winter a few times in the previous winters too, and might have found Craster when he was much younger, because he has given his other wife Nella's 6 boys to the others. So some of them are definitely Little Sam's brothers. Anyways, I'd like to give a shout out to a couple of theories. Seriously, I love how you guys surprise me with your brilliant theories sometimes. The first theory is by Liu, who speculated that the Night King might be Bran from the future. There are some hints in the books which also point towards this. The first hint is Melisandre's vision. When Melisandre looks into the flames, she sees a wooden, corpse-white face and 1,000 red eyes floating in the flames. She sees a boy with a wolf's face beside him, who throws back his head and howls. And while we are on the subject, I'd also like to tell you that in the same vision, she also saw what will happen at the cave. She saw grey ashes rising from the ground to meet the white snow falling from the sky. What do you think of this vision? Anyways, she sees Three-Eyed Raven and Bran and thinks they are the champion of the Great Other as Stannis is hers. At first I thought that she has misinterpreted this too, but later I found some more hints. The second hint is darkness. In the cave, the Three-Eyed Raven teaches Bran by saying, "Never fear the darkness, Bran. The strongest trees are rooted in the dark places of earth. Darkness will be your cloak, your shield, your mother's milk. Darkness will make you strong." Even then I didn't think of this, but after reading Liu's brilliant theory, another clue came to my mind. The third hint came from the first Night King. Oldland told Bran that the 13th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, aka the first Night's King, was a Stark, and not just any Stark. He was the brother of the king in the north. And she says, mayhaps his name was Brandon. I really love this theory. In trying to protect the realm, Bran ends up being the very thing he is trying to protect the world from. It's right up there with Hold the Door. It will be really heartbreaking if this happens. The second theory I'd like to give a shout out to is by Colorado, who said, "The Lightbringer can be the first Valyrian sword in Westeros." For those who haven't read the books, I'll explain why. Before the First Men came to Westeros, the children of the forest used dragonglass as their weapons. And when the First Men came to Westeros, they only brought bronze weapons with them. Then came the Long Night where Azor Ahai fought with Lightbringer in the battle for the Dawn. And after that came the Andals, who brought steel weapons with them, making Lightbringer the first Valyrian sword of Westeros. I love this theory too. Let me know what you think of these theories. I'll post my Season 6 Q&A video and What's Hidden Beneath Winterfell videos soon, so stay tuned for that. What do you think of these theories? Don't forget to tell us in the comments. If you like this video, please click on the like button below and subscribe to my channel. Have a good day. Bye bye. See you in my next video.